What's up y'all, it's been a minute. I've been focusing on shorts the last week, but it's time for a full-length vid. Continuing my Everything Wrong With series, it's time for everything actually wrong with Red Dead 1. I'm gonna be honest, it was kinda hard coming up with stuff. This game is borderline perfect, but when you look more closely you can see some faults. I will also be joined by Waxy, linked to his channel in the bio, and he will cover the first fault and everything actually wrong with Red Dead Redemption 1.
Hi, I'm Waxy. Dookie invited me on his channel today, so thanks for letting me be here. I feel very welcomed. Anyway, a problem that I have with Red Dead Redemption is its first chapter, the New Austin section of the game. It consists of 25 missions and it couldn't be any more mind-numbing. Now the game starts off really promisingly. The intro in my opinion is one of the best. It sets the tone and teaches you the basic controls really well. But after Bill shoots you, it gets boring. Bonnie helps you and you help her out around her ranch. And oh my god, these missions! I'm not one to complain about a game's minigames and side activities because most of the time they're pretty fun and immersive, but the horse wrestling and herding cows are a big part of the first little bit, and the controls really didn't age all that well. You have to be precise when you're herding them, and with the bad horse handling it makes it frustrating.
Come on, Bonnie, we got things to do.
Mr. Marston, do you want to join us? It's Daddy's favorite pastime.
Whatever Daddy wants, Daddy gets.
But this is just the first little part of the game. When we finally get to Armadillo, we meet Lee Johnson, and he says he's gonna help us get Bill. And then we meet Nigel West Dickens, and then we meet Seth, and then we meet Irish, and then we meet fucking SpongeBob.
SpongeBob!
All these characters tell us that they're gonna help us kill Bill, but only after 100 missions would we help them out first. It's all just to pad out the runtime, but I do like the world building and music in this section of the game, so I can't really dog on it too much. But Red Dead Redemption isn't the best game to replay. Sure, our first time playing it was fun even though we were just an errand boy because it was something new and we didn't really know what to expect next, but replaying the story and knowing exactly what's gonna happen is mind-numbing because of the repetitive missions. They took the expression "I'll scratch your back and you scratch mine" into a whole western game. Again, I still think the game is amazing, it's just that it has a lot of repetitive missions. I also see the complaint a lot that the characters are pretty one note, but I don't really mind. This isn't a game like Red Dead 2 where we need to learn everyone's backstory and what time to take a shit at. This is just John's story, so we don't see a lot of them later anyway. But yeah, I do admit the characters are just cliches. Also, a small complaint, but why don't we kill Bill in this chapter?
We still can't find Williamson anywhere.
We spent 100 hours with this motherfucker just to kill a couple of Bill's goons at Fort Mercer. We should have just killed him in this mission, but instead we kill him in the Mexico chapter, which should be Javier's time to shine, but he's only in one mission, and Bill is still the main antagonist. John would have went to Mexico either way to get Javier, so we don't really need Bill in this chapter. It just messes up the flow and pacing of everything. But overall, I still like it. It's still a masterpiece, but it's a bit flawed. Personally, I think Dutch's section of the game is the best, with John's family coming in second, but that's probably just me. Anyway, thanks for having me on here. Subscribe to Waxy, back to Daddy Duke.
This could be a nitpick, but here we go. Red Dead is full of strange and wonderful characters, though some take their weirdness too far and become this thing.
I hate people.
Now, I'm not saying that having a strange character is a bad thing. Many successful series have their own strange characters that are fan favorites. Bill Cipher from Gravity Falls, Vigilante from Peacemaker, Captain Knuckles from Flapjack. Who am I kidding? That entire show was weird. Anyway, being a strange character isn't bad. It's bad when the character crosses the line into straight up lunacy. Case in point, Seth Briers. This goofball is straight up nasty. He's a grave robber necrophile. Everything he says and does is so weird. Now you can say, oh, Rockstar wrote him to be like that. It's meant to be weird. I'm gonna tell y'all to just shut up. Just because he's meant to be weird doesn't mean I can't hate him. Again, this is my opinion, but I have other examples that aren't this idiot. The ones that come to mind right now are Alma Hordlick and Jenny. Alma's mission is let no man put asunder, which requires the player to look for this woman's lost husband. The player finds out he's dead. Been dead for a while. So that means this old lady's gone bonkers. She's absolutely insane. Jenny's side mission, Jenny's faith, involves her laying on the side of the road praying to God to help her. John can come along and bring her medicine, though she will not thank him and will thank God, so there's that. A very stereotypical Christian. Now don't get me wrong, I don't want all of these missions to have perfect stories fed to me from a silver spoon, but it's just that sometimes I'm as lost as John and I really don't know what I'm doing. Yes, that is my fault, but it's frustrating having to deal with these annoying goobers that want me to do this and that when I don't even get the story. I think I just hate stranger missions, but anyway, Red Dead does have examples of good, weird characters. I love Wes Dickens and Irish for their exaggerations. They're both really funny characters that are just the right amount of weird / parody to fit. But at the end of the day, these strange characters are only a part of Red Dead's grand story, so it's easy to forget about them. Throughout the entire story of Red Dead Redemption, John mentions one thing that keeps him going: family. When John finally returns to Beecher's Hope, there are a total of 8 missions with them. 2 with Abigail, 2 with Uncle, and 3 with Jack. The missions with Jack are fine as they do a good job of establishing the strained father-son relationship that he doesn't really need anymore. I would recommend 2 extra missions with Uncle and Abigail. While the 2 missions we do get with them are fine, just 1 more for each would have been even better. Abigail and John could talk more about the idea of redemption and leaving their past behind. Uncle and John could banter some more or talk about lumbago. With these extra missions, it would make having to defend Beecher's Hope more impactful. When Uncle is shot, we'd feel way more. When John sacrifices himself, we'd feel worse. The transition to Jack 3 years later would hit harder. Abigail's off-screen death would feel worse. You get what I'm trying to say. 1 more mission with Abigail and Uncle would make the end of the Marston family way more impactful. But at the end of the day, the Red Dead Redemption that Rockstar gave us is borderline perfect. What they did with the characters and the world they live in still holds up to this day. So much so that many feel like a Red Dead remaster or remake is unnecessary. I personally am for it, just so we can get some mentions of Arthur in the story or more extensive customization like horse bonding and gun, medals, and all that. Thanks again to Waxy for helping me out and covering what's actually wrong with Red Dead Redemption. Even though there wasn't a lot wrong with this game, big thing. Thanks for watching, stay safe, and goodbye.